CQ RAYNET, this is Golf 4, November Romeo Charlie, Operator Golf 0 Delta Uniform Bravo, serving as net control for the RAYNET-UK weekly activity net. This net meets June at 1600 hours local time and is open to all honest radio operators interested in emergency communications. Primary purpose of the net is to provide the opportunity for members to test equipment, exchange traffic, news, opinions and information. Information can be found on the RAYNET-UK website at www.raynet-uk.net. This is a directed net, which means all calls are made for net control instructed otherwise, and all RAYNET-UK operators are invited and encouraged to check into the net. When you do check in, please announce your call sign slowly and phonetically, followed by your name, and if you wish to leave the net immediately after checking in, then please call in and out. If after subsequent turns, then please make it clear you want to check out at that time. After I've heard it, pause and repeat what I've heard. If you're not acknowledged, please try again. And if you miss your turn to call in, I will be calling from the UK or international sections. So I'll now begin taking check-ins as usual in call sign number or any first for any stations with figure 8 to figure 8 and that call wishing to check in, please do so now. This is G4.
Golf Yankee, G8EY, name is Mike. Golf 8, Sierra, Delta, Uniform, Bob. From a very sunny Norfolk. Good afternoon, Greg. No traffic, in and out, please.
G4 and RC, good afternoon Mike, Golf 8 Echo Echo Yankee staying with me, and good afternoon Bob, Golf 8 who's in and out. Any other 8s please, G4 and RC, over. And RC, nothing heard, so let's have 7s, stations figure 7 and their call sign, please go ahead, G. Mike 7, Alpha Victor Oscar. Good afternoon, Greg. G4 and RC, good afternoon Dave, Mike 7 Alpha Victor Oscar, any other 7s please, G4 and RC, over. G4 and RC, nothing heard, but we do know G7 and the H is running the stream, albeit so let's move on to 6s. Let's have stations figure 6 and their call sign please, G4 and RC, over. G4 and RC, second call for the stations figure 6 sign, G4 and RC, over. And RC, nothing heard, so let's have 5s, stations figure 5 and their call sign, please go ahead, G4 and RC, over. The G4 and RC, with not many 5s, let's go straight for the 4s. Any stations figure sign, please, G4 and RC, over. G3, name John. G4HUF, your full hotel uniform footshop, Phil Dane Valley. G4 and RC, I've got John, Golf 4 Romeo Echo Victor, and Phil, Golf 4 Hotel Uniform. 4s please, G4 and RC, over. For an RC, then it's 3. Stations figure 3, please. G for an RC, over.
Golf 3, Zulu Hotel X-Ray, Ian.
G for an RC, good afternoon, Ian. Golf 3 Zulu Hotel X-Ray. Any others, please? G for an RC, over. For an RC, nothing heard, so let's have 2s. Stations figure sign, and that includes you. It's immediate 2s. Please call now. G for an RC, over. Give it a second go. Any stations figure 2 in their call sign? G for an RC, over. G for an RC, then it's 1. Stations figure 1 in their call sign, please. G for an RC, over. An RC, second call for any shy 1s. Stations figure 1 in their call sign. G for an RC, over. For an RC, then let's have Mike 0 stations of any regional secondary identifier, please. G. C, must be a sunny day. Any Mike 0 regional secondary identifier, over. For an RC, then it's Golf 0 stations, any regional secondary identifier. G for an RC, over. G for an RC, even Andy's not here in the sunshine. Okay, let's have any UK turn to call in. Any UK stations who've missed that turn to call in, please call now. G for an RC, over. G for an RC, then do we have any international liaison stations? Any of our international colleagues in Northern Band of Norway, Ireland and Ireland, Aries in Slovakia, any of our international colleagues? G for an RC. G for an RC, then let's have any station, national or international, to call in. G for an RC, over. G for an RC. That didn't give me much chance for a drink. Okay, good afternoon, everybody. This should be a shortish net sunny day for most of the UK, I think. Today's net is being live streamed by Graham, G7NEH, to YouTube today. Past live streams and recordings are available by searching G7NEH, that's Golf 7 Hotel on YouTube. And if you could like the video, put any comments against the video, or even subscribe, he would really appreciate it. The Met Office has issued yellow heat health alerts for most regions of England starting from 0800 Monday, that's tomorrow, 1700 hours on Thursday of June, with vulnerable groups likely to be affected by prolonged hot weather. No RAYNET groups appear to have events in the affected period, but it's effects higher temperatures can have, and also to take care of your members if this was persist into any of the weekend or through the rest of the summer. To put it differently, Friday saw 4 Balkan countries hit by simultaneous blackouts, currently being blamed on excess demand during a heatwave, where temperatures topped 40 degrees. Our colleagues in RMZO in Bosnia followed their standard operating procedures, all mobilising up onto protected repeaters and existing centre of activity frequencies in the HF and VHF band plans. The nature of the grid, the adjacent countries' emergency groups called in to offer assistance if that was needed, but power was restored after a few hours. A slightly different reason caused in Latin America on Wednesday, with 18 million people taken off power for several hours. Cause is not known yet, but an underinvestment in infrastructure by just a couple of reminders that a national power outage scenario is just as likely in summer as in winter. If it gets hotter and more people become more dependent on air conditioning, that comes with some rather bad effects. Next week, starting on Friday, is the Friedrichshafen Ham Radio Show. I'll be there doing an emergency communications workshop. And any good stories from the weekend will follow the week after when I get back. So care for the next Sunday. So let's make our way around our shorter than starting with Mike. Golf 8, Echo Echo Yankee, G4 and RC, over.
Sorry, that is or NRC from a shorter than average person. Yeah, lovely weather here, as Bob said. Sunny. Is reasonably clear of clouds, some dots about, and a cool breeze just to keep. Yes, I presume you got the emails from me last night. Interesting, I came across the allocations and clearances further down the email list. But yeah, interesting. So it'd be nice to know quite how it, on the grounds that they obviously found the information after a bit of prompting, a bit like you and yours on Radio 4 then. Anyway, nothing further from this round, from G.
Echo Echo Yankee, G4 and RC returning. Hey, Mike, yes, I did get your emails eventually. Last night I was in North Lincolnshire, which despite being remarkably flat, has got very few mobile phone masts in sight, and the email was very patchy, so I am home now. I haven't checked. So if you can confirm on the next round whether you forwarded through the NOVs or what you sent the first time you saw the RSGB reckoned there was nothing in the comments for a high power repeater. But it'd be interesting to see the NOVs you got as well, just align them with whatever the new structure seems to be. But yeah, glad it's finally sorted. I suspect it only happened though because of the nag mails. Okay, Dave, Mike 7 Alpha, thanks for popping up on the West Cheshire APRS net the other night. Just a little hint, you could probably have left the station running in absence, just to see if we could get any messages through to you. I have also found a lead in a slightly better station for less than 5 power usage to maybe run a more permanent duty here. Mike 7 Alpha Victor Oscar, I'll see you.
So NRC, Mike 7 Alpha Victor Oscar. Yeah, good afternoon, Greg. Hope all is well. Hope you've had a nice break over in Lincolnshire. We have a go, but it seemed very, very quiet. There wasn't anything at all popping up on the and yeah, I just turned off, as you said. I've just pinged you on the message, so Deb's just calling dinner was ready, so yeah, I just turned off the Wi-Fi, so it would probably took a few minutes for it to get back up and find its signal again. But yeah, lovely sunny day here locally, and cool vintage rallies on in the village. So the village has been quite busy with a lot of old vintage stuff. So it's been a pleasant weekend in Kelsall here. And for a change, coming through Fusion today using the little FT70. As last couple of weeks I've had a few problems with the DMR side cutting out and having to reconnect. So giving Fusion it lasts the net. Back to you, Greg. I'd like to sell them that after Victor Oscar.
An Alpha Victor Oscar G for NRC returning. Okay. Yeah, it was coming through reasonably pace until he said, hope there's no problems, and at which point, second or so of carrier drop. Maybe guys put a filter on for words that we didn't know existed. Yes, I've seen the signs for the vintage rally in Kelsall. That's probably made the roads a little bit slow in the area as well, but does bring the crowds in, and this at least was the weather for it. This was actually a family visit, so spending most of yesterday gardening for elderly relatives. I'm now burned, which was not the thing to do, but never mind. Right, I'll let you know when I spend some rest, but it will probably be in a couple of weeks. Because having found the lead, I now need to find the radio that was looking for the same lead. But if you weren't seeing APRS packets, because I was sending you, checking your deviation is set now to narrow deviation. Any use of this 5 kilohertz for APRS is probably being squashed by the band to make room for even more automated users. Okay, next to John and find out what's going on. Call 4 Romeo Echo Victor 4 November Romeo Charlie over.
Yeah, G4RE. Good afternoon, Greg and Annette. A peaceful weekend, I think, is what's going on this end. For a change, we're not doing anything. We've had a few hectic weeks. Was heavily hampered by rain, and ended up with duties changed rather late notice. But it all went down well. Learned a few things about repeaters and the use thereof, but that'll go in the report when we do. Couple of weeks quiet, and all starts again after that with thankfully only some small ones this time. Other than that, playing around with paging, and nothing much else going on. So this one that gets someone's round and then disappear. Thanks for that. G4RE.
Yeah, G4REV 4 November Romeo Charlie. John, if you could just give me one more over. Strange happened with my hotspot. You came out on slot 1 rather than slot 2, which is where this talk group's meant to go. So I didn't hear anything before, learned a few things about using repeaters. So just give me a quick fill-in on that. G for an RC over.
Right, that's better. Got me puzzled as to why I would have appeared on Talk Group 1. Definitely Group 2. I'm looking at the console here. It says DG2, but never mind. What was I saying? Yes, basically we had to move operators around because of part of our route flooded on the cycle race. And as a result, had a talk through, and don't good on that, on a high spot, but learned that so using higher power somewhere. That's going to be interesting. It's going to put our findings into the report and see what on earth we're going to do with it, because the one thing that was puzzling, and this is more than what I said originally, but the one thing that's puzzling is the need to know where it is at fairly. Anyhow, but before the rest, Eric, back to you.
For Romeo Echo Victor, G4 and RC. Yeah, well, it did it again. Definitely taken a shine to posting received audio from 5023531 into the wrong. So sorted now. And yes, time slot 2, that's what I'm transmitting at the moment, so everything should be on side. Okay, we'll look forward to seeing the report now that we have finally got a successful high-power repeat NOV through, albeit when I see it from Mike. We can open the taps on those groups. We also needed high-power repeaters if they can navigate through the process. We'll have to slowly pace them out. Friedrichshafen is going to slow me down to get I can get sorted, and hopefully the next ones come through without the few weeks of waiting just to get processed that Mike suffered. Okay, thanks John. Noted you out on this one, so thanks for that. And G4HUF, G4 and RC over. Is G Go for Hotel Uniform Foxtrot. Hey, good afternoon, Greg, and everyone else on net. Nothing exciting to report. My hotspot, even though I abandoned it for a week, has quite behaved itself and stayed active. Because literally it was a case of I came in and keyed up a little earlier on. Everything was hunky-dory, so not sulking through which is encouraging in itself. Unlike my monitor, it keeps on flashing on and off at the moment. Oh, mind you, it could be this radio being a bit too close to it. Yeah, so having survived the Tegsnow's, not the Tegs, Winkle trout race a couple of weeks ago, I was definitely going to go away for a week and relax and enjoy myself in North Yorkshire. And now I'm back and I've got to face the prospect of making more progress on the house. Well, there we go. Nothing of radio interest to mention. I'm ignoring the nice weather outside, putting my sensible head on and staying out of the sun. So that's all that I've got to say on the matter at the moment. G4NRC, this is. Again, G4HUF, G4 returning. Okay, no, not okay. G4HUF, G4NRC are returning. My hotspot's really got one on it, wanting to convert slot 2 into slot 1 at the moment. Yours might have survived, but it's maybe it's passed on the bad vibes onto mine. Winkle trout race went ahead okay, and yeah, it's got state priority. In terms of activities here in Cheshire, on Thursday, when I didn't announce it even to my own group or committee, we had a desktop exercise over the emergency plan for large passenger carrying vessels. Plan we've been involved with since it first got written in the 1990s. but interestingly, the pace of the exercise is such that for most participants, because we were joined unusually by Red Cross and Lowland Search and Rescue, most of the exercise time would have been done and dusted before they would even have realised the need. And she said to if needed. So it was an interesting day off, but not a great one for me to use as an excuse, which I was going to do for a no-notice call out of my group. So to get on that Thursday morning. So, if any West Yorkshire people listening, that evil strand is still in my head. Happened, but just not associated with an exercise. Okay, final one of this round, it's Ian. Call 3 Zulu Hotel X-ray, G4
G4 NRC and group, such as it is. This is G3ZHX. Yes, just checking that I am transmitting. Not particularly sunny here. The sky is blue in patches, but it's not sunny. I wonder if people are being distracted by Euros and tennis, which are ongoing at the moment. And that comes to mind particularly is because for the next few weeks I should be following the Tour de France, so I may not be coming on during the weekly net. But I will hand it back to you. Wrong call sign. G3, this is G3ZHX.
Zulu X-ray, G4 and RC returning. Now learning just to not watch the and just cope with the fact that I can see I'm being repeated. Okay, the shade. It was hot. It was hot in the camper van over the weekend. Temperatures were a little bit on the high side. It's a good job we worked so hard. Yeah, you sleep last night. Okay, the Tour de France is a distraction. That equally reminds me, and I don't want to name the event. This, I think, is not one but two major event organisers have gone bust over the last, including some with one of them which is involved in wide area cycling events in this country. So it's not the time to be an event management and organisation for some people, but Tour de France is, as they used to say, too big to fail. You're right, tennis and Euros maybe. I've got a little bit of a groan that we thought extending Friedrichshafen for a week to have a bit more of a holiday in Friedrichshafen would be a good idea. Totally forgot that the Euros are in Germany. Fully, nobody does anything silly, so I can still walk around town without being laughed at. Let's go back to the top of the list and see how quickly we can wrap this one up. Golf 8 Echo Yankee, G4 and RC over.
G from G8EEY. Well, I wouldn't laugh at you, Greg. Anyway, yes, well, I sent two emails last night. The first one to say, no, I hadn't heard anything. The second was one to say, yes, I had. But I did in application as I stored it on my PC here, and the automatic response that came back, everything is shown what I applied for, including the box, and I've just sent the new NOVs that came through. These NRVs actually find the information that I put in the text box, so I don't really know what's going on. But they're all there in your inbox waiting for you to have a look. Thanks for running the net and also for doing the whatever in the background. I think it's probably down to numbers of emails going about. Still haven't received any direct emails back, but it does seem to have worked. So fingers crossed. Somebody else to do the next one. From G8EY. Enjoy Friedrichshafen.
Golf 8 Echo Yankee, G4 and RC. Yeah, I certainly hope so, although I'm not going to be spending much. Right, thanks for sending the emails. The reason I got a little concerned is, as I say, mobile phone signal was not great yesterday, so when I needed to relay a message to the Region 1 emergency comms coordinators about power cuts, for whatever reason, Vodafone was giving me a bar, but I was unable to send an email. It just was not having it. I had to make it work in the end, but then when I got to the campsite, presumably same base station, still not, was actually able to send some things, so it just got a little flaky through the mobile phone network. So should have a proper login when we finish unpacking later and see what I can find, and then there's more going on why somebody says there was nothing in the emails when you obviously have sent me something that said there was. And yes, there was one other group aside from yourself, Mike, who were asked to apply, so I do need to see what's going on, if theirs has gone through a similar black hole. Right, thanks for coming on today. We'll move on to Mike 7 Alpha Victor Oscar G4 and RC, over.
G4 and RC, Mike 7 Alpha Victor Oscar. Yeah, not a great deal to add this end, Greg. Just you were saying about power failures. Manchester Airport has had a massive power failure all day today, with hundreds of flights cancelled and Terminal 1 and 2 from 1:30 in the early hours of this morning up until around about now. They're just about getting started again, apparently. So anyone who's flying out on holiday today, I've been told not to even travel to the airport, so even that'll have massive power failures back up. So yeah, not to be worried about, but keep my eyes and ears open for any call-outs you may wish to hopefully react in good time. And hopefully catch you in the very near. Point 7 now for Victor Oscar.
Mike 7 Alpha Victor Oscar G4 and RC. Okay, yes, I did wonder that myself. It looked like it was the baggage lines. The flights weren't taking off because they couldn't get the passengers and their items on board. New definition of what's a critical system, I suppose, because certainly air traffic control and everything is. However, yes, we need to keep our fingers crossed that doesn't happen next week. I do travel the day before. There was one absolutely stupid to actually fly out on the Friday morning and be there just in time to do my gig at 12 o'clock. That's just really silly. So we need to go out the day before, so I have some room for manoeuvre. Okay, 7-3 to you, and G4HUF, final from you, Phil. G4HUF, G4 and RC, over.
G4HUF, yeah. Yes, the Manchester Airport scenario doesn't sound clever. It sounds as though intermittent breaks in supply from what I've seen and heard. Not constant ones, but because it's a case of all of this kit, once it's quite often it needs a major reset. I can tell you about stories about power failures in the city centre which cause absolute chaos with communication systems. But we'll be here all day if I did that. So I won't. But suffice it to say that some of the lesser systems, this was over a weekend, funnily enough, Saturday night, lesser systems were left and be addressed, and that didn't the users well with the users, as you can appreciate. So yes, Manchester Airport does sound as though it's been a fun day for them down there. You comment, air traffic control seems to be running as smooth as it can. Put it this way, the air traffic controllers are normally very calm, laid back and relaxed characters when they're operating. There was no indication of any stress or panic from them listening earlier on today. So it's just the domestic side of the airport that's causing problems. No doubt there'll be one or two people shouting and saying, well, why didn't you have backup systems? Once a week, oh, it's been so reliable, we've never needed it until now. So yeah, anyway, I'm wittering on. I shall shut up, say something, and look forward to the next one. Enjoy Friedrichshafen. Not something that I shall be doing. I'm not over enthusiastic about flying at all. So I think if I was to go out there on the conventional methods, I'd need to set off even than you to get there just to attend the event itself. So enjoy, and we'll catch you when you get back. 7-3s, this is G4HUF.
G4HUF, G4NRC. Okay, I don't know, I'll just go with this one. I seem to recall the last time I went to Manchester Airport, Terminal 1 is due to all traffic's being transferred. I think Terminal 1's having a major refit around. So interestingly, it's only Terminals 1 and 2 that have been afflicted by this. Terminal 3 is fine. I'm going to be sad to have my last trip out of one for what might be a few years. But if they make the power supplies fit for purpose, then everybody will be happy. Okay, I'm going to take a fire, and we'll see if there's anybody wishes to chip in to announce their new location, and then I'll wrap up the net. So Golf 3 Zulu Hotel X-Ray, G4 and RC, over.
We're NRC in the group, G3Z8X. Yes, it might be worthwhile remembering that in times of trouble, an SMS will probably go through. I was saying at the end of February I was on an event where I was out of contact. I could not get through to control by and I was also on a site that had no telephone service, but I was sending, I should say, SMS messages, and there was a brief flash of carrier from the base going through. So SMS is more reliable than almost anything else. That doesn't mean to say it's sent reliably, of course. And I was going to mention Zero MFS has left a comment that he couldn't get into the net for some reason, but he is here. He actually didn't glitch immediately after one of your transmissions, or immediately before, I'm not sure which. And you might add him onto the list if you haven't already. And with that, I'll say thank you for running the net, and until next, have a good day. G3ZHX.
3 Zulu Hotel X-Ray, G4 and RC. SMS was fine. It was an email I needed to send, which was the awkward part. But yeah, that was another grumble from the River D exercise. It's our involvement is that there's not a lot of salt level in some parts of the Dee Valley. but they were happily chattering on about how they could use their phones and get what 3 words and all the other stuff working, and I'm thinking, we really need to push this exercise out to be real, live, in an area that's going to work, just to remind people how brittle the systems are. Anyway, thanks, Ian. It's actually 2 stations I'm expecting to chip in, but been able to get into the net so far. If you'd like to call now with your call signs, and I'll bring you in for a quick final. G4 and RC, over.
Mike, Sierra.
L3 Victor Echo Hotel.
G4 and RC, that's who I'm expecting. Okay, Drew, over to you. Mike Zero, Mike Foxtrot Sierra, G4 and RC, over.
G4 and RC, M0MFS. And there I had to swap radios through. The first one wasn't playing ball at all. Just a little bit on the Arden front. I've been in communication with a couple of guys in the Arden group, which has led to some quite interesting things. And we now have a supernode, the UK, on the Arden backbone. So theoretically, you can get to anywhere in the Arden mesh by popping through the supernode. It links meshes together. It doesn't offer a direct mesh-to-mesh contact. So it's a funny story. I'm only just getting my head around it. But yeah, so they were quite keen to get the UK supernode in, and we got it up and running in a few minutes. Still a bit of reliability to deal with. Also, been playing around with some other mesh services, but that can buy from M0MFS.
Sierra, G4 and RC, okay. Be useful to hear a bit more about. At the moment, Trevor, Graham, myself, yourself, anybody who lives through Steve, actually up in the northeastern NetNet, we could all talk to each other, but from Steve across to Europe last time I checked, middle of last week. So I was going to have to ping Steve, who's now across in could he give something a kick, but I'm presuming now there's a supernode there. I still need to know what addresses to connect to it. So it'll be interesting to hear more about that. Maybe we can have various meshes at that one. So that's fantastic. Okay, one for another time, as you say. I wanted to try doing a tunnel from the campsite, how I could tunnel back into my own system to carry on installing the XMP network time protocol server and web server and things I've got, which is waiting to launch, just needing configuration. But with the data signal as bad as it was, I couldn't push that much further. Okay, Drew, talk to you about that another time. We now have a supernode in the UK. Final word goes to Chris, who's got a shiny new QTH on his login. Call 3 Victor Echo Hotel, G4 and RC, over.
G4. She copying at the moment. I'll actually be getting in.
VH, yes, you're loud and clear, over.
The dashboard froze. I don't understand that. Anyway, I just got the Wi-Fi connected over the hotspot just to get it to talk to the home hub. I've had the smart home hub 2 now from BT and fibre to the house. So yeah, we're all installed and seemingly up and running. Great. I see you anyway. I was delighted to hear you come on the radio around and get it nowhere. a bit of a battle myself, mate. I spent too much time messing about, I'm saying. Anyway, we are installed and we are obviously functional. On from the nuclear DH, which is Millbrook, just to the south of 12.2 miles south, down the River Tamar, a bit closer to the Red Peninsula. So that's the location. G3V8.
Golf 3 Victor Echo Hotel, Chief. Okay, interesting. Your tour point location shows up on Guy's dashboard fine. It hasn't promulgated through to Brandmeister yet, which was checked for some reason that you were still in Winchester. So no, everything's working fine, no dropouts, everything where glad you've moved and had the priorities right about finding the critical before you found the hotspot. Good. If we don't have G3LXX on for the next couple of weeks because of the Tour de France, I still have the potential of having a G3 occupy rankings. So good to hear you on. Let you carry on doing the unpacking, but thanks for today, Chris. Okay, I'll bring that to a close. I've got some unpacking to do myself here, so everybody for taking time out of your schedule to participate in this. For most of us, afternoon. Be careful, have a good week, and until next Sunday afternoon at 1600 hours local time, the RAYNET weekly activity on 3531, Pheonix and Brandmeister, and 50233531 on the server, and return those talk groups to being an open net rather than a directed net. 7 people, it's got 4 November Romeo chat now closed, and reverted to my normal call sign of Golf 0, Delta Uniform Bravo. Bye bye.